Good afternoon, Camp Davy Crockett.
I'm Hayden.
And I'm Zeph.
And I'm JD.
And welcome to the
Camp
Davy
Chronicles.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't even rehearse
that was
that.
impromptu.
Nobody talked about that. We just did it.
Yeah.
So, JD is drinking out of a mug in his mug instead of drinking out of the mug.
But it's still got the logo on it, so that's what matters.
Yep. I don't have anything in mind. It's just
Yeah, we're a loser.
Well, you know, we just came back from lunch, and I had a drink then, and so I don't need any more right now.
Yeah, so did I. I still got more drink.
Okay.
What are you drinking?
Water.
Oh, okay. I'm drinking a Yoo-Hoo still. A Yahoo.
Still.
Or whoever, whatever, the Yoo-Hoo. That's it.
Yes, it is Yoo-Hoo.
You're a Yahoo.
Okay. Anyway, so it's the end of the summer.
That's true.
We have finally made it.
The official end today, literally, as not the day that you're listening to this, but the day you're recording.
We're
recording this, not them.
Correct.
You guys are not recording this unless you are playing the podcast on one device and recording it with another device for no reason. I mean, I don't know why you would do that, but you could, I guess.
Listen, if you're having to pirate a free podcast, you need better things to do with your life.
How was your summer, JD?
It was long. The end of it was rather warm.
That's true.
It was good, I think. I enjoyed pretty much all of it, and glad we were able to do another summer camp without messing anything up too awful bad.
Yeah. What's your least favorite part of summer camp?
How long it is at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, we had 9 weeks almost, which I guess technically if you count like staff week and stuff, we had 10 weeks, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I lost count a long time ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as like the actual day-to-day stuff, what is my least favorite part would be the paperwork.
Yeah, I could see that.
Having to track that down constantly and keep that up to date is a pain.
Right. So how on average, okay, I don't know how to phrase this. On average, how much paperwork do you have to track down in a day? 5 pieces of paper or poundage, whichever one you want.
Well, it's not a pound, so
okay.
Every class has that roll sheet that you've got to track down. I don't think any classes we've had this year were big enough to have 2 roll sheets for the class.
Fortunately, it has happened before.
It has,
terrible.
but I don't think there were any this year. So we teach, I think it's 70 some class periods,
right?
Not necessarily unique merit badges or anything, but there's 70 some roll sheets out there. And, if you start looking at, somebody left for their night off and didn't turn it in, or, somebody was sick, somebody was filling in for somebody else. Probably most days somewhere about 10 or 12 pieces of paperwork. Okay. But you never know where those 10 or 12 are coming from. Right. So it makes it hard sometimes.
I never even thought of the possibility of having 2 roll sheets. I would cry.
Like for a single class?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because your size limits are all like 2, right?
Yep. That's exactly right. We get only 2. No, I think our size limits are 12. And normally we go over that because there's some people that like it and we're like, sure, let them come on.
Rifle should be 16. Shotgun is 12. Archery should be 12 last I checked, or maybe 14.
I've been told by the somewhat official source because he's questioning, but that sounds right.
Okay.
So, and we normally, I think all of the classes that got close to that, we filled, like if somebody wanted to do it, it was either 1 or 2 people and something like that. But we were normally under that, I think, except 1 week.
Yeah. Well, for your standard merit badge class, the cap is 25, and that still all fits on 1 roll sheet. Yeah. So if you need 2 pages, then
something's gone wrong.
Yeah, but it has happened before.
Probably Eagle Bound happened, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's true. They get some big class sizes.
Right.
Anyway, what? Well, JD, I didn't ask you to prepare an answer for this question, so maybe I don't know if you can answer it right away. But
let's see what we can do.
What is one of? Just give us some highlights of the summer.
Highlights.
I don't know, like maybe like the best moment, the worst moment, the most average moment. I don't know. Whatever. This is all improvisationalized.
Some of my favorite moments, I don't know that I could pick any one moment specifically. The volleyball game where Camden scored the last 3 points was a highlight.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
21-0. I worked here for 15 years. I don't remember staff blanking Scoutmasters. So that was fun.
Has it been 21-0 the other way around?
Probably. I don't remember specifically, but it would not shock me.
Okay.
JD wipes that part from his memory.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't remember 21-0 in either direction, but I also didn't play volleyball for like the first 5 years I worked here. So
what I'm hearing is that means that staff is objectively better than Scoutmasters.
Well, we knew that. I didn't even know that was an argument.
But like now there's scientific data to back it up.
True.
Scientifical.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Clayton would say.
Clayton's fill-in at campfire was pretty good the other night for Weeblos. It sort of left Zeph dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the dumb. He drug the intelligence level of that skit down so far that Zeph had a hard time comprehending.
I didn't know how to get to the punchline because it brought me so off track.
If we can get a hold of that video, then we could publish that one as well.
Do a side-by-side comparison.
Because we have the Ethan Rose, the official version of it.
Ethan and Daniel.
Daniel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we could post the two.
The fishing skit.
Yep.
And pretty much any time aquatics did the synchronized swimming was a high point. I don't know. There's just a bunch of them that have happened this summer. Yeah. So trying to pick out any one particular moment was...
Right. There's so many little moments that like you sit and like make you laugh or make you happy or whatever that, like you said, it's hard to...
Yeah. We did have good campfires this year.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah. JD has said it multiple times. Dale said it at a time too, that he thinks that this is our best campfire.
Yeah. Our best staff campfire by a long shot.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think because you being program director, as far as I remember, the campfires weren't really themed. They were just skits.
Not generally. There was a couple of times we sort of had a rough idea of a theme,
right? But
not that cohesive as it has been last couple of years.
Right.
So.
But that's the one thing that I enjoy that you've brought to campfire is like and I do have to say this year the theme was sports, and I feel like we kind of lost that, but it was still good. I enjoyed it.
I mean, the theme gives you something of a starting point to brainstorm, and I think that kind of helps the creative juices flow a little more than when you're just come up with a skit. It's too wide of a blank slate, and you could kind of fumble around trying to think of something. But if you've got at least a starting point, you get going.
Right. So that's something I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
And then low lights. Again, I don't really know that any stand out in my head as like the absolute worst moments.
Yeah.
Anytime we have to blow a code blue is a scary moment.
Yeah.
So we did 3 real life actual code blues this summer. I think and so. They were all in the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, they're all toward the beginning. We didn't have any.
We had the one during JROTC and then week 1 and week 2. But I don't know that those were necessarily low lights because in hindsight, all 3 of them together didn't last a grand total of maybe 7 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Including the shortest one ever, thanks to Hayden.
That was great.
So, anytime, a leader or a scoutmaster comes in and says, I've got a kid that I haven't seen in, however long it is, it's a scary moment because you're like, oh man, well, what's going to happen here?
Right. But, you always assume the worst.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, like you all have said on the podcast before, and we say it in training, 90% of the time when we blow that code blue drill, if you check their campsite, they're there.
Yeah.
It's just mistaken, somebody didn't communicate or something like that. And luckily all 3 of these were that, almost all 3 of these were that. One was something different, but we knew where the kid was rather quickly either way. So
that time when they were at the rifle range and Hayden responded over the radio immedially. Yeah. I didn't even have time to start running because I was still listening to the radio to get the report.
It was
and then he's like, he's here. I'm like, oh, cool.
Well, see, it was funny because we on Mondays we teach our rifle class as a group, so it's shotgun and rifle there, and they're sitting there over the radio. And before I let them go, I was listening to the radio because I was like, we've got to do this.
Yeah.
And I didn't want them getting up and me missing something on the radio, so I was like, stay here for a second, and then you'll leave. And so as they were saying these descriptive features, the whole class started slowly looking at this one child, and all of a sudden they say whatever it was, like maybe a name or something, and they turned and they were like, "Hey, that's him." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And so I asked for a last name, and they said last name, and it was him. And I was like, "Oh, perfect, found you."
Now, I did feel a little bit sorry for anyone who didn't have a radio nearby them, though, because Dale called all clear on the radio probably 30 seconds before the air horn went off, because someone
I think it caught him off guard as well. He He started the siren, and then he was leaving to go, do his part of the code blue, and he called it that we had the kid, and he had to turn around and go back to the siren.
But then
to
someone
hit it
pushed
again.
the wrong button too, because it started sounding code blue again.
But those are always the low light when that scoutmaster comes in and they're scared, and you're like, oh man. But I think it altogether there weren't many low lights. Most of the low lights outside of that was just chasing down paperwork and yelling
losing at volleyball.
Yelling at staff members because they didn't do their paperwork or didn't do it correctly, that type of thing.
The usual issues.
The usual issues, exactly.
Did the fire extinguishers work?
They do absolutely work.
Do they?
They do.
Yeah. What happened, JD?
The same thing that happened the last time you asked somebody on the podcast what happened with the fire extinguisher.
About it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I sprayed me, her, and Pop-Tart with a fire extinguisher because it was rattling around, and I went to put my foot on it, and it went off.
And then was it Camden that was there and didn't get any on him?
Yes, it was.
See, that's one of those things that I wish I could have seen from the outside.
Right.
Because it would have been really funny just driving down, and then just all of a sudden there's this white cloud of...
It was sort of a yellowish cloud. That stuff is yellowish.
Didn't we have one get emptied somewhere else recently?
There was one, a scout emptied one in one of the cabins, I think in Gray Squirrel, maybe. Bobcat, somewhere up in there.
There always seems to be an empty one in Bobcat. But like no one can ever find where it's been emptied.
There was one completely went missing from maybe Bobcat. We never found it. Like it wasn't discharged. It wasn't in the trash. It was just gone.
I honestly think that was the ghosts. It's got to be.
But I do remember hearing over the radio sometime the last couple of weeks that someone had discharged one, like by mistake.
Maybe. I vaguely remember that, but I've also slept since then. So I think I have. So
you've worked here. We've discussed this in the past. You've worked here for 15 years. This is your 16th year, right?
This was 15.
Okay, so cards last year were wrong.
Yeah, this is 15. I started in 08, so.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of like when you got your eagle and you told Spencer that.
Definitely told him the complete wrong year.
Yeah. But anyway, so you've worked here for 15 years. What from now, this year that you've worked, and from your first year, what is two like things that you've always done, or like what is like a camp routine that you always do?
A lot has changed since then.
It has. Yeah. Used to, until we moved to the new staff camp, I had a tradition where on night off, I would always. This is going to sound weird because it's obvious that this is what would happen. But like, we got to the point like with shooting sports that we would drive everywhere. Right. Well, on night off, when we got back, I would always walk from headquarters back to the tent. This is just something I always did. That was sort of a tradition. But now with it being in the corner of the parking lot,
it's a long walk.
It is a long walk. I don't know that I have any real big like traditions or habits. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I do and just don't think about them. Wearing the lifeguard tank top for volleyball is the closest thing I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay. I am kind of upset though. So you used to wear the sweatband, which I felt like brought the whole outfit together, and then you've not done.
Yeah, I lost it. Don't want to buy a new one.
Have you done the staff versus Scoutmasters volleyball since you've been working here?
He just said
about the first 5 or 6 years, I really didn't play.
I mean, like that tradition has existed that long.
Like the game?
The game itself. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That predates me working here.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, there's me and Sean found pictures of that like in like the 70s.
Okay.
The first memory I have of really playing in the Scoutmaster volleyball game, And I guess I probably played my first year a little bit here and there, but I wasn't very good. Still not, but we had a scoutmaster that's son would always come in on Thursday night, and it would be the only night he was there. But he would always play for the scoutmasters, and he was like 6'4", athletic, and he and his father were like competitive volleyball players. So it was always a beatdown when they showed up, and they told me or warned the whole team that, hey, if he's at the net, just back up because it's going to hurt. And I didn't realize he was at the net, and I went up to try to like block a spike, and I did, and we ended up getting the point because he was not expecting the ball to bounce the way it did, but he spiked the ball off my face and it went back, and we scored the point.
Nice.
And it hurt a lot. They were absolutely correct.
Did you wear glasses at that point?
I did, but I didn't wear them when I did sports. So.
Okay.
That's probably a good call.
Yeah.
Correct.
Wow. Yeah, because I have wondered how long that tradition has existed here. I guess forever.
Yeah.
At least longer than the last 15 years.
Yeah. And like I said, we found pictures of what we think. I mean, people who were wearing staff uniforms and people who were wearing like Scoutmaster stuff.
Yeah.
From like the 70s in the pictures.
All right then.
Cool. So maybe it's forever.
So JD.
Yes, sir.
You are the program director.
That's what I've been told.
Yes. For 3 years.
This is my third year. Yep.
What is your favorite and least favorite things about being the program director?
Least favorite still going to be the paperwork.
Okay.
Paperwork is miserable no matter what happens, because when you get 50 some people together, apparently they at least half of them lose the ability to make check marks.
Yeah, it is weird.
I don't understand what's so hard about it, but every year paperwork is a struggle. My favorite part is watching staff come together and succeed in places that sometimes it doesn't necessarily always seem like they will, like pulling the campfire together and seeing how creative we can be with those skits and games and stuff like that. So that's probably my favorite part.
Cool. While you were talking, I thought that I heard a cat, and I don't know why.
It's just the chair.
That would be the chair squeaking.
It was a weird squeak.
There's a cat in there.
Maybe. Okay. What's next, Hayden?
I don't know. I thought of a question, then your cat threw me off.
Okay.
So I had it, and then I completely forgot it.
Would you say the cat got your tongue?
Oh, man.
I would think so.
Even though it doesn't exist?
Yeah.
What, my tongue or the cat?
Either one.
Maybe.
There it is.
It's definitely my chair.
Okay.
So today took a little longer. So today is the Sunday, and normally we'd clean up on Saturday, but today's a Sunday. We're cleaning up
because it's a weekend event.
Yep. And so today was our last day to clean up all the program area stuff.
Correct.
And you've taken on the program closet as like a little bit of a child, and it's clean and stuff.
Cleaner.
And
cleaner. I'll give it cleaner.
So I just want to give you the opportunity to make a PSA to anyone who's going to go in the program closet.
Please don't move stuff. It all fits on a shelf. I don't know how I did it, but it's all on a shelf, except the speakers from Campfire that Shooting Sports dumped in the middle of the floor. I got those moved to the side at least, but please leave stuff in the program closet alone.
Yeah, and minimal milk crates.
Indeed. I cleared 9 milk crates out of there, something like that.
Nice.
And 5 cardboard boxes.
I think that's the most impressive part of it.
And 3 totes.
Yeah.
Just consolidating stuff and putting stuff that goes together and not spreading it out. And
logical things like that.
Yeah, throwing away some pamphlets from the 70s that made no sense and stuff like that.
What were the pamphlets about?
All sorts of different stuff.
Okay.
One was like flag etiquette.
Okay.
But it wasn't very useful flag etiquette. It was stuff like, don't let the flag hit the ground.
Earl was using those to teach.
No, he did use some stuff out of the program closet that I found, but it was not those things. And then there was some fire building stuff and some knot stuff and things of that nature. I was tired of looking at it. We hadn't used it in 3 years, so I figured that was...
Yeah. What is a hidden talent that you have that no one knows?
I don't think I have any.
Talents or hidden talents?
Either.
Okay.
There's not something cool that you can do that I've never known or that anyone's ever known.
Do you know any magic tricks?
Yes, I know 2 card magic tricks.
Okay.
Neither of them are very impressive, but I know them.
Probably wouldn't work too well in audio format either.
Yeah. Probably not, no.
Can you play any instruments?
I struggle with the radio most of the time. Okay. So, no instruments. I was in the world's largest kazoo band for about 3 months. From NOAC 2009-ish.
Yep. I remember you telling me that story. See? Secret talent. Wow. I think we talked about... I think that's how I remember that, as you talked about that one.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never heard of this. Was it like a world record thing?
It was. Yeah. Guinness Book of World Records was there and certified it, and it stood for about 4 months, 3 months, something like that, and then somebody else broke it. But everybody at NOAC played kazoo.
What did they play?
We played... The only one for sure I can remember is the OA song. But I want to say we played like maybe God Bless America, the OA song, and Amazing Grace, maybe.
Okay.
Something like that.
I'm surprised. Oh, just 4 months. I wonder how often that record gets.
I don't know, but it stood for like 3 or 4 months, or it did not make it a year.
So it just so happens that I have a kazoo. No, I pulled that out on Earl. He plays the harmonica, and I told him I have a harmonica if he wants to try it, but he didn't want to try it.
Did you tell him why you had a harmonica?
I did not. Oh yeah, we can talk. Yeah.
Why do you have a harmonica?
Okay, no. So me and Jeff, this was Jeff's brainchild. Wanted to prank JD because JD is not a fan of noises. Okay,
just any noises.
I think so.
Specifically, you honking the horn of my golf cart.
So we were gonna prank him. So we had a harmonica because he saw this video on the Facebook of somebody putting a harmonica like on a car or on a golf cart, and then when you drove, the wind blew into it and it made this screeching sound, right? And so we went and we zip tied it to the golf cart and we drove it to test it and everything. It worked perfectly. Okay.
So just a note for the listeners on these golf carts, my golf cart and the golf cart that Earl and Randy had were rentals for the season. So they were not our like camp golf carts.
Right. And so we had zip tied. It was perfect. We left it sitting out at headquarters. And then we went on to do our daily task, our real work. And so we were on our way to the shop to drop some stuff off. And all of a sudden, this truck passes by, and it's got this giant logo on the side. And it says the Golf Carts Company. And I was like, Jeff, you know who those people are? And he's like, no, who? And I was like, those are the golf cart rental people coming to pick up the golf cart. And so he's like, oh, crap, we got to go get this thing. And so we turn around and we get as fast as 15 miles an hour to get you back to the headquarters. And we pull up. It's like a mission out of like World War or what's the game? The video game that's like Black Ops. That's what it is. Black Ops. Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. That's the one. See? Yeah. It's like a mission out of Call of Duty. We roll up and Clayton has a knife in his hand and I have a knife and we cut the zip ties and we hop back in the truck and we just leave again. And it was great.
Oh, man.
And now, because he'll never listen to this, there is a harmonica on Clayton's Jeep. So you'll never know it. So we're hoping that as he's going down the highway, it's just making noise.
Very nice.
Yeah. So it'll be great. Because Clayton was like, that's hilarious, boy. And then he did it. Also, Clayton, if you are listening to this, the bottom of your Jeep is really oily. And so you might want to check that.
We'll send him a message later.
Yeah. But that was our harmonica story. That's why I had a harmonica.
Okay. Well, now it all makes sense. You and Jeff. Yeah. Jeff, the assistant shooting sports director. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Not Jeff the cat.
Yeah. No, it was,
maybe him too.
Yep. That was the cat you were hearing.
Yeah. Maybe he escaped.
In cahoots.
Well, I think it's time for the word of the day.
I think so too. I'm excited.
How about words of the day?
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Can you deal with 2 of them?
Nope.
I don't know. We'll see if we have the...
All right. So
capacity.
To follow the somewhat unofficial theme of the summer, I have another phobia for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gephyrophobia.
That's the fear of Jeff.
It is not the fear of Jeff.
How do you spell it?
Gephyrophobia. Gephyrophobia or Gephyrophobia.
Okay.
It is a phobia that I have.
Oh. Okay.
Near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
No.
I'm joking.
Bridges.
Oh.
Fear of bridges.
Yeah, you do have that.
I do. I don't like bridges.
I've seen you curl up in a ball multiple bridges.
Yep.
Over multiple bridges.
They're not fun.
He rolls over bridges?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Whatever gets me across them the fastest.
Now, does this apply to, like, for you personally? Does this apply to any bridge, like a walk?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So even if it's just like over a creek that's like 2 feet wide and you walk over it?
If I can like step across it on my own,
Okay.
it doesn't bother me as much.
I specifically remember us having this conversation though, and the culvert there underneath the new dining hall gives them the heebie-jeebies sometimes.
Yeah.
Where?
The big culvert there at the bottom of the main road into camp, there before you turn into shooting sports.
Yeah.
There's a big culvert.
Oh.
That you probably never noticed.
Yeah, I don't even think about it.
But it's basically a bridge.
Okay.
Like at the bottom of the new parade field,
Right.
where that drains from like the shooting sports area down into that like swampy area.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan.
Okay.
Not a fan of
Yeah,
that.
I know what you're talking about, but I never think about it.
Because I remember us having that discussion of and that's why I started like going through bridges at camp.
Okay.
And then the second one, like as an actual word of the day, is penurious. Penurious.
Penurious.
Penurious.
What does that mean? I'm curious about pens.
No, it means that somebody has either a lack of money or an unwillingness to spend money.
Oh, penniless. I'm joking.
Not quite. Pretty close.
That's a lack of money or unwillingness to spend money. Those could, because you could have a lot of money and still not be able to spend it. So
sort of miserish.
Right.
Gosh, that's a whole other word.
That is a whole other word.
Because I'm just thinking those could almost be opposite people, and
yes,
that's the same word. So that's interesting.
Yes, it is. I thought the same thing.
But when you said lack of money, I was like, oh, so like camp staff. But
yeah. No, or an unwillingness to spend, like camp staff.
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cool words.
So what about the joke?
I got 3.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just blowing your mind.
I can't laugh that much.
He's trying.
I might get ahead.
All right. Are you ready for the first one?
I bet it's going to be
Maybe.
Cinderella.
I don't know. No,
It's going to be what?
Cinderella.
Yep.
Our last guest who had 3 jokes, Cindy Batten.
Yep.
I don't know if you can top
I
hers.
cannot top Cindy Batten's. All right. Why is Cinderella banned from restaurants?
Oh, man.
Because she has no shoes?
Nope.
Oh, man.
That's good thought, though. Good thought. No shoes, no shirt, no service.
She just lost one, right? She could.
She only gets half service.
It's because she runs away from the bills. Bills instead of...
Yeah, no, that's too. I don't know. Did you make that one up yourself?
No, okay. I did not.
Okay.
I Googled Cinderella jokes just to make you all upset.
Well, it's a different joke.
Yep, on that same note, what do you call a reasonably priced Cinderella t-shirt?
I don't know.
Fair retail.
Okay.
And then one that's not Cinderella based. Okay. Why can't you trust atoms?
Because they make up everything.
Because they make up everything.
Yeah.
That's
biology teacher jokes.
That's not even biology.
Have you ever...
You got to have a basis in chemistry to get biology, so...
Yeah. Have you ever thought about writing a joke on your board every day?
No.
You should. Or is that just your lesson that you're... I assume you don't.
Like, because where he's
a teacher
in the classroom.
Yeah.
Well, you said his board, and I was thinking
I do a quote
in the program office.
Okay. You should also do that. That'd make my day a whole lot better.
He didn't use the whiteboard for anything in the program office, really. He used it.
I did at the beginning of summer when we were planning stuff, and then after that,
he used it like twice.
Yeah, 4 times.
Okay,
maybe
5 times.
Yeah.
One time I used it, I had to erase all the words you wrote across it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just started. Eventually, I just started writing like one word every day to see how long it would be until he just erased them.
What kind of words? Hi, hello.
Just any
minimum
words.
was one of them.
Specifically, words that are like fun to write in cursive, like fluffy. That is very fun to write in cursive.
You know, you're strange kids.
But You actually, so you erased it one day before I was going to add the word erase. That was going to be the next one.
I definitely misspelled fluffy in cursive.
Okay.
Well, you got stuck on the F.
I did.
All right. So I think it's time.
I'm ready to see who won.
To recap.
I know who
predictions. Won. Or do we want to ask him the questions from?
Let's ask him the small questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got. So obviously we've had JD on the podcast before, so we don't need like a full interview rundown with him.
Right.
But there are some questions that we haven't asked him yet.
Yeah.
We should ask him.
Like, what is your favorite color?
Purple or black?
Do you like them together?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Any shape, light purple, dark purple.
Preferably dark more than light, but I don't really care.
Like Camp David Chronicles.
Yeah, like the Camp David Chronicles shirt.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed in you. Be honest. He started the day off with the Camp David Chronicles shirt on, and then somewhere between then and now,
he switched into
switched shirts. Yeah.
The better orange staff t-shirt.
Indeed, it is the better orange. Well, I had to switch because started out the day I lost my keys. And so I spent about the first 2.5 hours of my day, maybe not that long, hour and a half-ish of my day moving everything in the cabin, trying to find the keys to my car.
Yeah, you even missed flags.
I did.
You're like, forget that.
I did.
Need my keys.
I need my keys. And so that included me rolling around in the floor of the cabin. And so it got a little dirty. And I was not wearing that the rest of my day.
Yeah.
So.
And to be fair, I walked in his cabin for like maybe 5 minutes and found his keys.
I think it was about 5 seconds.
Okay. Where were they?
They were in the corner of the couch between the cushion and the armrest, but I had already looked there.
Okay.
And another staffer had already looked there. Maybe 2 other staffers. I don't know if Mike made it that far.
Hayden's just got that key sense.
Yep. I just saw them. It was like they're right here.
I'm not entirely convinced he wasn't pranking me and just had them in his hand. Yep. I was like, oh, hey, I found them. But
that was not one of my pranks. If that was my prank, I would have pulled the classic and put it up the flagpole.
Fair enough. Which I wouldn't have seen because I wasn't at flags. I was looking for him in my cabin.
That'd be a really good way to get him. Which it also been back because it rained last night, so that would probably ruin keys.
Yeah. If you could be one animal for 24 hours, what would you want to be?
One animal for 24 hours, what would I be? Some kind of cool bird of prey, probably.
Oh, I was really like I said Bigfoot.
Well, if you count Bigfoot as an animal, sure, that would be cool. But as far as real animals go, because Bigfoot's not real, probably a hawk or like an owl or something.
What would you do as a hawk or an owl?
I'd probably swoop down into a lake somewhere and eat a fish.
Mm-hmm. You always wanted to do that?
Not really, but if I was a bird of prey, I would. I just think a bird of prey is cool. So.
They are cool.
Okay, that's fair. So on that sort of trajectory, we have 2 questions from Earl and Randy that are both animal related. And we did preview the questions for JD, so I think he prepared answers.
I did, but they're on my phone on the other side of the room.
Okay.
So let's make it interesting.
To recall them from his memory. If you could be one snake, what would you be? And how hard would it be for Earl and Randy to wrangle you?
On a level of 1 to 4 billion.
Based on the story, I'll go ahead and answer the second part first. Based on the story of Earl and Randy trying to get the snake out of the shower house, I'm going to say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's going to be about a 10 to corral me because it's going to be more dangerous than a black snake, and that seemed to give trouble.
Yeah, Randy definitely stood on a toilet.
But you know that Earl has a doctorate in snake wrangling and commissioning
from the University of West Virginia's Snake Wrangling School of Universities.
Pretty good. I forgot the name of the snake, so I'm going to make one up because I found a decent one, but it's over there. So
I mean, we can go get your phone. About it. Yeah, Langley, hand his phone.
Toss a phone. Oh, God. Don't break my screen again. That is a low light. Going back to that earlier, I did break the screen of my phone this summer. Where did I save that at? Screenshots.
That's true, but you did get to
oh, no, I deleted
it. Is it in your trash?
No. I do have the next one on there, though.
Okay.
Do you remember what the snake was like?
Nah, it's probably bright and colorful and venomous. So
okay, like a coral snake?
Yeah, we'll go with a cool coral snake.
Cool coral snake.
Nothing about Carl in there. Just a cool coral snake.
I would describe you as bright and happy.
I'm sure that is my vigil name, the happy one. We love Lynn Tank.
Yeah.
Hey, Randy, that's a bright, colorful JD snake right there. It's going to be a tough one to wrangle.
Pretty much.
And then, JD, since you don't know these, I'm sure, what dinosaur would you be?
Dreadnoughtus.
Oh.
It's a really big, long-necked dinosaur. Had a cool name, so.
I would also describe you as long neck.
Dreadnoughtus. It's bigger than an elephant.
It's like if you know what a giraffe looks like, just imagine a fat giraffe.
85 feet from head to tail.
Damn.
Man, they could reach tall trees.
Yep. Have to do that in the olden days.
Yeah, if they still had those around, the less cats would get lost.
They'd be helping out the firemen. Oh my goodness.
There would be less lost cats.
All right, let's go over our camp predictions.
Okay.
What even were our questions? Like that?
Let me pull I wrote down the answers here, but I didn't write down the actual predictions.
So there was like.
So the first one was how many campfires would be rained out. And I assume with these, I think I was given free reign as judge of these.
I give
point wise.
I guess. Well, anyway. Continue.
So with the how many campfires were rained out, Hayden's guess was 1.
Mm-hmm.
Your guess was 2.
Yeah.
The correct answer was 0.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. It was. So that point went to Hayden.
Yeah. Off to a good start. Only to get worse.
Yeah, this next one was a little rough. Hard to get a feel for this one, but how many Dime Award winners for the season? Hayden said 13. Zeph said 12. We had a whopping 5.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So point to Zeph on that one. So
all right then.
1-1.
1-1.
Hottest week of the summer. Hayden guessed 2. Zeph guessed 3. It was definitely the last 2 days for Weeblows week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Without any shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I think I gave that point to Zeph, but you both missed it by.
I wouldn't have given a point.
I would just not give it.
I don't know that I did give a point, but.
Up to you. Like I said, you're the judge.
Yeah. Rainiest week, Hayden said 5. Zeph said 1. It was 2.
Okay.
So Zeph got the point on that one, being closest. Volleyball win-loss ratio. I gave no points on this one because you were both technically correct.
Okay.
Hayden said 4-1. Zeph said 3-2.
Okay. How are we both correct?
Well, week 2, I think, is the conundrum.
That was the illegal game.
That was the game where our good friend Langley filled in for the Scoutmasters to give them 6, which meant they did not technically have enough to play, therefore giving them a forfeit.
That's true.
But they also won the game. Okay. So if you count that, then we're 3-2 and you get the point. If you don't count that, we're 4-1 and Hayden gets the point. So whether I give you both a point or neither of you a point, it comes out the same either way. So that's a push.
The important thing is we won.
That's true.
The summer.
We
did win the summer regardless, and especially if you throw the ROTC weekend where we beat the brakes off them.
Yep.
Okay.
And so that was your, was that 4 or 5 main predictions?
The single point questions.
Yep. And then you got into your specific predictions, which I've got to say, neither of you did very well with.
Okay. Yeah.
That was kind of, my goal was just to throw a lot of, what's the expression? Darts at the dartboard. I don't know.
I do have to preface this by I didn't know how the system worked till after we finished the episode.
I explained it to you like twice, so
not very well.
I listened to that episode. I think it was more like 5 times. Okay. That section drug out a while. But anyway, so Hayden led off, and he predicted that Zeph and Hayden would be in every episode of the Camp David Chronicles this year. And you were correct.
Yeah.
3 points to Hayden.
Yeah.
I'm a winner.
I remember listening back to the predictions episode and wondering why I gave him 3 for that, because that should be the expectation.
Yeah. So I'm up to 4 and you got 5 or 4 and you got 2. right?
What? I don't know.
Yeah, because you had one from that and another one from the other thing, and then I had one, and that's 3.
I don't know. JD's the tallier.
4 and 2.
Okay.
I have pre-tallied.
Oh, okay. I don't have to keep up with that.
Correct.
Okay.
Dylan, then we went to Zeph, who predicted that Dylan will speak through the radio exactly 3 times, which might have came true had we not have given him a radio, at which point he blew 3 way out of the water. It was like every time you turned around, he was on the radio, somebody to raccoon or raccoon to somebody.
Yeah.
So
that was a good call, though, to give him radio. I like that.
Yeah. So you missed the point there.
Yeah.
All 6 of them, to be fair. Then we went to Hayden. The highest temperature during the weeks of summer camp will be 97 degrees Fahrenheit.
That was close.
It was close. The last 2 days we got to 95 both days.
Yeah.
So 5 points for Hayden did not get added.
Sad.
Zeph got 7 points on this next question.
Wow.
He said the trading post will run out of root beer during week 2. And they ran out of root beer during ROTC week 1, ROTC week 2, week 1, week 2, and week 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know they ran out every week.
Yeah.
Because I was paying attention week 2, and I knew that they did.
Yeah. So 7 points to Zeph there, and that's the one that pretty much seals the victory for him, because you gave him 7 points there. And
in hindsight,
I would have given that a lot of points too. I thought it was so specific that it was unlikely, but I didn't realize they ran out of root beer every week.
See, I knew the system. I definitely knew what I was doing.
Well, then Hayden comes back and counters that with the prediction that he will get poison ivy exactly twice during summer camp.
I was off to a good start. I was nailing it. I thought I had this one in the bag.
And then you got it at least 3 times.
Yeah. I literally, I have it right now. That's the 3rd time.
We were having that discussion before we started that you were struggling with the ivy.
It's bad. I hate it.
That is very unfortunate.
Then we go to Zeph, who predicted that Clayton will score the winning point in volleyball by accident.
Yeah,
specifically.
What's funny is all of these predictions were really close to coming true. Almost all of them.
I don't know that Clayton even played volleyball most of the weeks.
On that night that Camden scored, Clayton was next.
Yeah.
And we were close to winning, and they specifically mentioned it on the pod, or when the coverage, that this could be the night.
Well, it wouldn't count, though, because Zeph specifically said by accident.
Right.
Which would be like the ball comes back and hits Clayton in the face and bounces back over the...
Well, I was thinking
which happened once. We did score a point completely by accident off of Madison and Pop-Tart's face.
We scored it off my face as well.
Man. Lots of folks getting Scott Sterling this year.
Yeah.
When I said by accident, I don't really know what I was imagining. I think I was picturing Clayton not looking and hitting the ball and be like, whoa, and then he won.
I imagined Clayton laying on the ground and the ball, somebody spiking the ball and just bouncing off of him and going back to the other side.
Yeah.
So
I think we're being attacked.
I know.
Someone almost just interrupted.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. But. Anyways.
So then we're back to a Hayden prediction that Zeph and Hayden will mention JD, that's me, less than 10 times on the podcast in episodes that do not feature him.
Okay, good. Because I was about to say, we blew that out of the water.
Well, you did blow it out of the water regardless of the fact that I'm here or not. It took you a grand total of 4 episodes to get to the 10th mention of me. And the funny thing is the 10th mention of me was Zeph saying that I was a killjoy for not letting him sing all the songs on Saturday morning. That was number 10 in the episode with Tanner.
It's a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm a killjoy, though.
that would hurt his soul.
It did. It really did. I am. Then we went to Zeph, who really, really missed this one bad. Zeph's next prediction was there will be one code red that lasts over 2 hours. There was not one code red.
At all.
Not true. A single one.
That's true.
For any amount of time.
Yeah. We didn't even do a practice one, huh?
No.
That's sad.
Those
are my favorite practice ones.
Because you could just get to sit there. Yeah. I was kind of wondering on this Saturday at Weeblos camp, we had that really big storm. I was wondering if we would blow one.
There were a couple times where you guys debated, where there was a storm about to come in that never actually came in.
Yeah. Right. And most of the time, the really bad storms split and went around us. Yeah. And the ones that did hit were at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And if you're up to hear the siren at 2 a.m., you probably need to be in shelter anyway.
Yeah.
So
I would guess there was consideration for that yesterday.
There was.
Yeah.
But pretty much everybody had left. So
right.
We should have done it.
Yeah. And the ones that were left were pretty much sitting at headquarters going, right. Are we go? Well, it doesn't make any sense now. We're all here. We're already in Code Red.
I was in my cabin. I was going to take a shower, and then it just started pouring rain. I was like,
It was funny. Me and Langley were breaking down the rifle range, and it almost happened the way that Mike waddled back that one time. But it started sprinkling, and we were like, "Oh, we got this. We could get the rest of these targets up." And then, almost instantly, it just started pouring, and we were like, "Nope, can't get the targets. Go back."
That was a very close, very big storm, though. Like some of those thunderbolts were rattling the cabin.
So we found an app.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean Dale.
Okay.
Has found a website, I don't guess it's technically an app, where it will track the lightning strikes, and you can watch. Then there's like a circle that'll go out that's the wave of thunder from the lightning.
Yeah.
And in that one yesterday, the closest one hit the island.
Okay.
So I mean, it was pretty close, and several of them hit like Rogers High Point on the back end of camp.
Okay.
Out toward the outpost camp.
Yeah. Do we want to take a break for a little minute and tell the little funny story?
Because I was going to say there was one lightning bolt that I thought landed like right behind Hayden because we were actually getting into the truck to drive down to record the podcast with Earl and Randy, and there was this a lightning strike that was close enough that it basically all of our vision turned white for a sec because it was very bright around us. And then we were just kind of looking around dazed, and Hayden said, "Man, I hope I don't get struck by lightning." And as soon as he finished saying lightning, the thunder went. And
it was so loud.
It was
it scared me.
Yeah, Hayden jumped into the truck.
I was like, whoa.
That was probably the one that shook headquarters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Because it was to the point where we were about to text you and ask for the website to see where it was.
Right. Yeah. Because
the problem is that website doesn't necessarily go backwards.
Yeah.
So unless you had it up and looking at it, it wouldn't have showed you where that strike was.
Okay.
Or at least it doesn't that we found.
Right.
So the one on the island was the closest one that you were watching.
Right.
So there might have been one closer.
Could have been.
Okay.
I mean, if you have it up and running, it'll keep the data of all the ones that have happened while it's been running.
Right.
But if you close the tab out, it loses all that.
So we just need a computer that just sits. That's all it does.
Yeah. Maybe the one at the dining hall.
Yeah, because they don't do anything.
The next one was Hayden, and this one was very hard to track when you handed it to me 2 days ago to check because it's been a long summer. But Hayden, for 3 points, said it will not rain for more than an hour 2 days in a row at any point.
I remember spending 10 minutes on the podcast trying to figure out what he meant by this.
Yes. To our knowledge, it did not.
See, I don't think so.
No, it definitely did.
No.
It had happened week 2. I remember because I was thinking about it.
You were like, this is more than an hour. No, I don't think so.
It was early in the morning one day.
At night don't count.
Come on.
No, because no one's awake. Because it definitely rained one night, all night.
Yeah.
That don't count.
It rained several times throughout the summer, 2 days in a row. But to go back and say for sure that it rained an hour 2 days in a row.
Right. Well, I think the time that I decided that it had happened was when it was it rained around midnight, an hour before an hour.
Are you arguing with the official judge?
I don't know, maybe.
Take a point away.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then the last one.
How many points was that?
That was 3.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm winning.
Okay.
As of right now.
You're not winning. You're down 1.
I'm down 1.
Okay.
And then 9 points to Zeph, which he did not get.
Okay. I was going to say, wait, this didn't happen, did it? Okay.
Well, sort of, kind of.
Yes,
we debated this. We debated this one back and forth in the office a little bit.
What?
The last prediction was that there would be one crocodilian sighted on camp this season, and on Christmas in July. a stuffed crocodile was given as a gift.
That's true.
Which is a crocodilian.
Right.
But we did not give you the points therefore.
I would not have counted that either, no, because for that matter, I could have just opened my field guide in Nico and been like, "Oh, alligator!" Like, I don't think.
See, but that was already on camp.
Right.
This one started its life not
somewhere
on
else
camp, and came into camp and is now off of camp.
That's true.
We think. And we checked the cabins. Did it get left?
He was pretty excited about the gift. I think he took it with him.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the final tally, as best I mathed it yesterday, is Zeph at 9 and Hayden at 8.
Wow.
For Zeph to be the winner.
Hey, I'm keeping my streak up.
Yep.
1-2.
Maybe next year.
Maybe.
Maybe you need to make some better predictions.
Yeah, maybe I need a team. I think that's what it is.
Just
maybe you need less specific predictions.
I didn't know how the system worked. Listen.
Well, okay.
I made predictions that morning. Okay. Zeph,
like if you
it.
had done the high temperature will be between 95 and 100.
But that don't get you the points.
That would get much more. See, he understood that.
But 1 point would have made the difference there, and it would have been a tie.
I was going all or nothing.
I was trying to go for unlikely things to get more points. That was my strategy. I was just thinking 5 things that are all relatively unlikely, and if one of them happens, I win.
And it did.
There you go. Of course, I didn't realize apparently it's not that unlikely. But Hayden and I both thought it was, so I got points for it.
And that's what saved you.
Yeah.
Next year.
The root beer in week 2.
Yep.
I only bought one of them myself, too. I can't.
Yeah, no, Zeph was over there buying all of them.
No one can say I rigged it. I only asked everybody on camp. No,
I bought nothing. Well, I did too. I take that back. I spent $65 at Trading Post.
Oh, what'd you buy?
A belt,
Camp Davy Chronicle shirt.
a belt, a shirt, a Camp David Chronicle shirt, and a sticker. $65. That's the only money they got from me, though.
What was the sticker? What's it a sticker of?
Of West Virginia.
What?
No, a Camp Davy Crockett sticker.
Okay. Well, I don't know what.
The bumper sticker?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we had different designs or anything.
We have different stickers down there.
Okay.
I was pretty sure you were talking about the bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we've got like the Bigfoot stickers that are tiny and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
no. I needed a new sticker for the laptop, and so I got one.
Is it on there?
No, because I'm gonna have to. I'm rearranging to do.
Okay. You're starting to get crowded. I mean, with your stickers crowded on there.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no more room for stickers.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any others of the questions that we hadn't asked JD before that'd be interesting to ask him. But I don't know. I already know his answer to the superpower question.
I'm pretty sure we did that one last year.
Yeah,
did we?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
Because that was a carryover.
You did not ask
think it was.
for me to leave a question for the next guest.
That's true.
That's true. And I do have a question that I want to ask him from a couple guests.
Okay. What is that?
Okay. It's Caleb's question.
Caleb's question.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
JD
God.
would be a good person to answer this.
So
goodness.
Caleb asked that if you could be... Okay, so it's multi-layered.
So think of your favorite book or game or movie or TV show, and which I'm sure that's pick one. Just like you don't have to think like this is definitive favorite of all of everything, but
and then do you want out of that favorite whatever? Do you want to go back and relive that story as the main character, or continue on in the story
from the ending
as yourself?
So like as myself living in that world.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a deep question. Which we had to ask Earl and Randy last week.
Well, my favorite story or movie or whatever, favorite book is The Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah. I figured.
Yeah. It's going to be Sanderson something.
Yeah.
The problem with that is I don't know that there's really a main character of that to single out.
What if you pick one book from the series?
And no, there's...
Okay.
I guess maybe you could make arguments that there are main characters in each one, but there's really not.
Pick a character, because most of the characters that die off are...
Well, they all live pretty bad lives.
Okay.
So the general idea behind it is to get the magic from that world, you have to have a broken soul, and the magic fills anyway. It's weird. So something bad has to happen for you to get magic.
Right. Okay.
And generally, it's some kind of mental health issue that he's bringing awareness to. I would say I would continue on as myself in that world.
Okay.
Rather than, because my favorite character is a character named Dalinar, and he did not live a fun life.
Yeah. You got bad knees.
Bad knees are not good for Dalinar.
That breaks the soul. Breaks the soul.
Yeah, I feel like most like good character journeys and stories are going to involve a lot of pain and suffering. So you probably most good stories you're going to go for the second option.
Yeah.
So what would be your like power? Like if you could have, because I know, like you said, all those characters have certain powers.
Well, if I get to pick my power, then it's going to be super luck.
Okay.
But which I think we've talked about, but that is not one of the powers you can get in that world.
Okay. So specify one of the world.
There's a lot.
You got to pick one.
One of them is the ability to do it's called lashings.
Okay.
But it's not like scout lashing.
Tie rope really well.
Yeah, you don't tie rope really well, but you're like tying bonds of gravity to things. So like you could lash yourself to the wall and stick to the wall, or lash yourself to the sky and fly.
Oh, okay. Now that would be cool.
Yeah. But it's not like the traditional like Superman where he flies. It's like a whee.
Yeah. Basically big jumps, right?
Yeah. Big jumps.
Big jumps.
Yeah. Is that all flying is? Big jumps.
One big jump after another. Maybe.
Thought of the day. You have a thought of the day, Hayden?
Like currently?
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we were talking about one right now. I mean, okay.
Okay.
Is flying just a big jump? So birds definitely. Okay, right? They jump up and they fly. But like then you have the argument of planes, because planes don't jump.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Is it a propelled jump? Because I don't know.
I don't know.
Do birds jump?
I mean,
I don't think they do.
They definitely like push up when they start flying. I mean,
some of them.
Yeah.
Well, they don't just stand there and they just woo.
Well, if they're already in a tree, they can kind of just lean out. Right.
That's gliding. That's not flying.
Catch the air, but they can catch the air and then they go up. They beat their wings and go up.
That's the jump. It's just an air jump.
Okay. Okay.
I've played plenty of video games. No, that's just a double jump.
The double jump. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I don't know about planes though. Definitely not helicopters. They just start going up. Yeah. I mean,
I feel like whatever helicopters do, planes count as the same thing.
I don't know.
Because they just build up speed and then use aerodynamics to bring them up. They don't really push down to make themselves go up.
Maybe it's just non-living things that jump and fly.
What? You mean
like
other way around?
Yeah. That's the one. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe non-living things don't jump.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
If the plane has to like pick up speed, maybe that's just like a slow motion jump, but different.
Well, but it's not pushing down to push itself up.
Right. It's pushing forward to push itself
I don't know. The wheels are having friction against the ground, so that's something.
Yeah. Runways are secretly like...
well, like on aircraft carriers, I know that's something that maybe that counts as a jump. Because they're shorter and they like jet propel it and then...
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And, they're on a boat, so it's technically going up and down a little bit,
Yeah, that's
fair. The water.
So maybe that counts as the plane jump.
Have you ever walked on runway?
Nope.
Trampoline.
It's a conspiracy.
I've never walked on a trampoline. Have you? I've never walked on a runway.
I have walked on a drone runway.
Fake.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
But
drones aren't real.
Yeah.
They're birds. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
All right. I think we've
do you have anything else that you would like to say?
No.
Okay.
What words of wisdom would you like to leave our listeners with?
Learn how to make check marks if you're going to apply to work at camp.
With pen. That's not crayon, Sharpie, marker, with a fine point pen that you use legible.
That's another pet peeve.
Yeah. Won't name any names.
Oh, yeah, we didn't have, that's a good question. What's your pet peeves?
So I've got a lot. Most of them involve the incorrect use of markers. I don't know about most, but
It's like
several of them involve the incorrect use of markers, like when you have the tiny check boxes for the roll sheets and somebody takes one of the giant tip Sharpies and check marks it, and you have no idea where the check mark is supposed to go.
Because it marks through like half the box.
Yeah, no, it's awful. The other one is when people write on my whiteboards.
That must be terrible.
Oh, also, this is an important question. What embarrasses you?
When people write on his whiteboards.
No, that doesn't embarrass me. I don't know. I'm at the point not a lot of stuff embarrasses me. It's sort of situation based. I mean, some situations more than others, I guess. The one that stands out was a trip to the Green Tomato Grill where a staff member we were supposed to order food to bring back to camp to Steve-O and Tori, who didn't get to leave. And I forgot. And this other staff member goes, "Hey, would you like me to get the waitress's attention? She's standing right over there." And I went, "Sure." And he proceeds to put his hand up in the air like he's in school. And then he starts waving it back and forth, yelling, "Help! Help! Help!" in this crowded restaurant. And then the lady comes over and like real timidly goes, "Can I help you?" And he goes, "Yeah, he needs to place an order." And I'm like, "No, I don't. Nope, no order here. You can just go on. Sorry to ruin your day."
All right. Now we know how to embarrass JD. All right, Hayden. Let's get planning.
Oh, I thought we were okay.
Hayden's like, "I'm ready to be done. I don't know.
Right.
Plan what?" I tuned that whole story out.
What story?
Exactly.
Yeah. And last most important question, JD, are we friends?
Sure.
Okay.
Why is that everyone's answer? That has been the most common answer is sure.
I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yes. Oh, okay. I see how it is.
Yeah. Fine.
All right. It's a great day to be a scout at the fun Davy Camp.
Bye.
What?
Camp Davy Chronicles. It's a podcast about Camp Davy.